Yo, what is up everybody? Jumpin here, and today I'm going to be bringing you another Mass Effect 3 Retaliation DLC video. Today it's going to be the Geth Trooper, aka the Geth Soldier, and I'm going to recommend using the Geth Plasma Shotgun on him. Why not? He's a Geth, he gets bonus damage, and this shotgun is really good, as a lot of you guys may know. The attachments I'm going to be using is going to be extended barrel and the new melee attachment, just because the weight really won't matter too much on him. Alright, now for Flamer, I'm going to recommend Reach. This gives it 15 meters, which is like Snap Freeze, which is huge. Then Damage. And then I like Armor Damage. Shield Damage is, you could go for that, but Armor Damage to me is better for bosses. I have a shotgun. If I wasn't using this, I would use other things to take shields down quick, so I don't think the shield damage is necessary. For fortification, I like Durability, Power Synergy, 30%, that's really good. And then finally durability, it's 40% damage reduction, which is probably his best thing he gets. And then the final thing is going to be Hunter Mode, which is going to be weapons accuracy, rate of fire. You could maybe go for power damage, but I don't really see this benefiting Flamer too much, so I think the rate of fire is still better. And then damage, so it's 17 damage. Now for Network AI, I like weapons damage, then power damage, and then weapons damage. Now, here's the thing. If you look right now, his shields are higher than any other Geth. He gets 1,000 shields base, which is really good. So it goes up to 1650 with the max fitness. I just think that 1,000 shields is probably enough for me to be cool with, as long as you use some type of cyclonic. Alright, now for the equipment I'm going to recommend, I'm actually just going to be using Destructor Rounds 4, Shotgun Rail Lamp 3, Stronghold Package 5 for the shield delay and the more shields, and I think I'm actually using a Cyclonic too. I just don't have any of these, but if you do strap these on, you're talking about some serious shields in this guy because of his 1,000 base. Alright, so let's go ahead and get into the gameplay. Alrighty, so this is going to be the gameplay. It's going to be on the Hazard Reactor map, which is, I don't even think I ever did a gameplay on this map, so I'm kind of glad they put it back out. And it's going to be against Cerberus. Now, this Geth Trooper would obviously work really well against armor targets because of Flamers, so Reapers would probably be one of his best factions to fight as. But he works pretty decent on all the factions, I have to admit. Now, the number one problem that I can automatically tell you with this guy is that although he has 1,000 shields and all that good stuff, he still is relatively flimsy, so you have to keep that in mind just because of the low health and the fact that the shields are cut because of Hunter Mode. They're cut in half. You got to keep that in mind. So the base shields, he's unlike the other Geth. Because his base is 1,000, 50% lower of that is actually going to minus it 500. So he definitely won't get a bigger shield penalty compared to the other Geths. But if you strap on, like I said, Cyclonic 4, that's 150% more shields. So you're talking about a total of 2,500 shields even without any fitness. If you want to go for some fitness, that's cool. I would maybe recommend skipping the final Geth boost, but you will lose 15% weapons damage if you're going to be using this shotgun, 10% for any other gun you want to use. And there's a lot of good guns you can strap on this guy. You got to keep in mind, Flamer is actually a very good power. I have to admit, I was a little skeptical. I always didn't like it, and I personally felt that this Geth Soldier was going to be one of the ones that I just wouldn't like too much. One of the things I noticed was that when it comes down for people being hyped over the DLC, it seems like the Geth Soldier was probably up there to be like one of the most hyped. Everybody was talking about the Geth Soldier. Everybody was saying, I want my Geth Soldier! Give me my Geth Soldier! Right here, I'm going to get annihilated. That's what happens when you use your melee. I'm not going to recommend melee with this guy. I know fortification, you guys think that that's probably a great idea. Hey, yes, fortification, let's do some melees. True. But you got to remember that one thing I don't think a lot of people understand is that the Geth melee is good because it has the big radius. It can really do some serious damage. But what you have to remember is that it actually has the lowest base damage. Well, actually, I'm pretty sure the Volus probably has the lowest base damage now. But the Geth has one of the lowest damages for the base for all melees. It's like 250, I believe. It's really low. So when you're talking about 90% or 100%, I think it's 100% you get from fortification. That's only going to increase it to 500. Plus, if you do all the other math, I mean, it's definitely a decent melee. But to me, the Infiltrator is still better. He gets a bigger damage bonus for the melee, and you get cloak, so it's easier to sneak up on enemies. Where this guy, well, he's not going to have that. Now, his benefit for his melee would be that you could, once you take off the fortifications, it lasts for like 9 seconds, so you can do it for 9 seconds with a boost. But then you lose your damage protection. So there's a lot of flaws, honestly, to the melee version of this guy. I don't really recommend it, to be quite honest. I would say a good weapon / using flamer effectively / just trying to be a little bit beefier, because he is beefier than the other Geth, to be honest. He is. He gets more base shields, so if you have a Cyclonic 4 on him, and remember, I don't have a Cyclonic 4. If I had one, I probably would be a lot more beefy this game, and I felt that I think I did a pretty decent job at staying alive, but overall, I do die, I think, 3 times this game, so, but that is to be expected. But as you can tell, or at least I hope you can tell, yeah, man, Flamer is definitely really good on this guy, especially you use a weapon like this Geth Plasma Shotgun. The way I like to, my strategy with him is very simple. I like to use Flamer, set him on fire, shoot him with the Geth Plasma Shotgun. I don't bother charging it up unless it's maybe a Phantom or something really, really strong. Because this gun's so strong that it kills a lot of enemies in one hit anyway. But I kind of like to use it just to take down shields. That's the reason why I had the Destructor ammo on. Just that bonus damage to shields. Why not? And it can set up Tech Burst really easily because it has such a high damage. So what I like to do is I like to set them up with Flamer. I'm going to die right here again. But I like to set them up with Flamer. Then I like to shoot them, take their shield down. And if they're set up with Flamer, they're going to immediately be stunned. So the Geth Plasma Shotgun will pretty much stun any enemy, as a lot of you guys may know, like Phantoms. It stuns Phantoms non-stop, which is great. Such a good weapon because of that. And then with the Flamer for like the other enemies, once they get out of that stagger, then they're going to be on fire and they're going to be stunned again. So that's the way I like to play with them. That's how I would probably recommend to play with them. This was my first game I played with him, my only game I played with him, to be quite honest. That was it. I wasn't in the mood to play Mass Effect. I just got on, played a couple games to get some money and unlock them, and then I unlocked them, got a gameplay, got off. So you got to keep that in mind. But overall, I thought I did a pretty good job kind of demonstrating because I was thinking about the different ways I wanted to play with him. I didn't know if I wanted to do melee or whatever. So I figured that, to me, this was definitely going to be the way that I wanted to play with him, which was just to use a weapon that can take down shields and use Flamer. That's pretty much, I think, the best way to go about it. So the best guns I recommend would be this Geth Plasma for the most damage. The Talon would be really good too, because the Talon gets a multiplier to shield damage. I think it's like 150%. It does a lot of damage to shields, so like one shot normally will take down the shields. Or I would also recommend maybe just the Alkalite Pistol. Why not? That thing is one shot to shield. So if you hit them with the flame, you hit them with that, they're on fire. If you're playing with someone who has some type of really good detonating power, you're talking about fire explosions all day. See, that's the great thing about the Fortress Sentinel. The Fortress Sentinel is so good at getting fire explosions. So this guy is right up that alley. He's right up that field where he'll be able to get a lot of fire explosions easily. It's just really, the only downside to him is that he doesn't have anything to detonate it, like the Fortress Soldier with Carnage, or like the Fortress Sentinel with the grenades. So you're going to have to rely on other people to do it for you. And this game, there really wasn't no synergy there. I wasn't really trying to have my team work around that so I can get a ton of fire explosions. I didn't really care about doing all that. But in general, that is something you can do. So if you're playing with like a human vanguard, or if you're playing with like someone with arc grenades, for example, those are great. This guy would be really good because you get so many fire explosions. Flamer is such a really ridiculous power, I think, only because I don't know what they did with it, but I feel that with range now, it just feels like if you just kind of like shoot it forward at enemies and just kind of like circle it around, like just you'll set everything up with fire explosions, and all it takes is like one good grenade that it's thrown into that group, and all of them get blown up, and it's really ridiculous overall the amount of damage you can cause like that. But like I said, I do think the Geth Soldier, at first I thought that he was going to be definitely one of the ones I didn't like, but I can say he's pretty decent. I do like him. He's a little flimsy. Now you could counter that with putting some points into fitness, but I just personally say the best thing to do is just to strap on a Cyclonic 3 or 4 if you have them. If you don't have them, I kind of wouldn't recommend him for staying alive for good damage output. I think he is good for damage output. It's just a shame that they didn't give him any type of well, it's just a shame that overall he still is a Geth at the end of the day, and that's what you have to keep in mind. Alright, so there was a couple things I want to talk about in this video that's pretty much not related to Mass Effect, which is I'm going to be doing a couple different things coming up here. I will be doing Halo 4. I do not have it right now. I don't have any money, but I am getting it. So keep that in mind. It should be a couple days, 4 days, I don't know, a week. It should be a little while, but I will be getting that. Also, I do have a game right now that I will be posting, which is going to be Assassin's Creed 3. I have that. So I'm going to definitely start a series, a Let's Play maybe with that, or some type of series with that where I play through the campaign. I don't know. But so keep that in mind. But I have to be honest with you guys. I probably will not be doing too much Mass Effect as of right now. Only because every time I definitely will come out with the build videos, with the videos about like this, where I show you the every time one of these things comes out, or if there's anything really special going on with Mass Effect, I definitely will go and play it and show you. But right now, I feel that I'm going to pretty much transition eventually into Halo. I mean, that's the game I'm going to want to play a lot. I love Halo. Halo's one of my favorite games, and I'm really good at it. So that's what I started my YouTube channel. I know a lot of you guys may know, some of you guys may know this, other people might not, but I started my YouTube channel as a Halo YouTube channel. It was actually meant to post Halo gameplays and commentaries, but I soon realized that for back then, I don't really think many people were really interested in Halo in general when it comes to, at least Halo Reach. A lot of people were not digging Halo Reach. That's very true, especially around the time it came out. And not only that, but commentaries for Halo is kind of like, well, they don't really exist for real. Like not a lot of people do them. People are more interested in montages. Commentaries are more of a Call of Duty thing. But I think that I'm going to try to start doing some Halo commentaries. That's what I wanted to do originally, and that's what I think I want to do again. That's been my goal for a long time, is to build up an audience and then transition into something else. Because I mean, Mass Effect, I love Mass Effect, but I can't just post nothing but Mass Effect. It just cannot happen. I have to transition over to something else, just so I don't fry my brain, because I can't play this game and have fun non-stop. Like I have fun when I play it, and that's what matters to me. Like I told you all the times before, I play this game to have fun. I play all games to have fun. I don't really go for the whole super try hard, gotta go try hard all the time. I like to have fun with my games. I like to play with friends. I like to do things like that. That's what I enjoy. So that's what I want to do with Halo. I want to post that because that's where I'm going to be having the most fun. So that's probably what's going to end up happening. I just want to let you guys know. So keep that in mind. I will be posting Halo, probably a lot of Halo once I get it. And I also will be doing a Assassin's Creed 3 Let's Play series or single player kind of thing. Maybe some multiplayer to that game as well. But I will continue doing Mass Effect from time to time. So for all you guys out there who are going to freak out, I will continue doing Mass Effect from time to time. And especially when something new comes out like this. If every Tuesday or Wednesday, whenever these new DLC guys come out, I'll definitely strap in, put in Mass Effect, play it, and get a gameplay and talk about my build ideas. Alright, so let me get back into the gameplay / into this Geth Trooper, because I do like him. Like I said, to me it was very surprising how I didn't think I was going to like him. But overall, like I said, unfortunately I know a lot of you guys might have decided to try to make this into a melee build. I just don't really, I haven't tried it, but I personally think that I don't really see it being too effective just because he's just so flimsy. And if you're going to try to run up point blank and then you're going to drain your shields, yeah, that's going to definitely cause a problem. So that's one thing you have to remember, is that that's just normally not a great idea, running up point blank, draining your shields. You only have like 100 health. Normally I wouldn't just recommend that. And So I would recommend something along these lines, where you're gonna use Flamer. You're gonna also go ahead and use something that takes down shields quickly. Play with, if you have any type of team synergy, or have a friend or whatever, and you want to play as this guy. Well, see if your friend wants to play Demolisher or something. I mean, most people are down to play Demolisher. It's pretty decent, and that will definitely help you with fire explosions. Slash, if your friend wants to play like a Human Vanguard, that would probably be the best thing. But like I said, that's how I feel about it. I just think that if you're going to play them, you should maybe try to have some type of team synergy that would definitely help you for fire explosions. I think Flamer is too good to pass up. It's so good against so many different things. I mean, it works well against health, which almost every enemy in the game has health. If they don't have health, they have armor, and it works really good against armor. So either way, you can't really go wrong with Flamer. My only thing about this guy, I'll repeat it like 10 times in this video, which is he's kind of flimsy, and that's his only real downside. And the only other thing I didn't like about him, honestly, is that I wish they would have put some type of detonating power on him. I would even go as far to say I would sacrifice Hunter Mode for that, because I mean, Hunter Mode is so good. We all know how great Hunter Mode is. I mean, that's just how I feel about it. Now, that's something you could keep in mind. You could make a defensive version of this if you want, and that would work really well too. I got to be honest. I really would be honest with you. And I'm just kind of thinking of this now, but a defensive version of this would be really good. So if you look at my build right now, if you copy everything but Flamer and you put it all into fitness, all into shields, that would be very good, because he would have 1,650 shields with no Hunter Mode, so no reduce, so he would keep his shields. He would have 40% damage protection. If you strap on a Cyclonic 4, he's going to get 1,500 added shields. That's 3,150 or something like that. It's a huge number. He would be really beefy, really tanky, and he'd be pretty good, honestly. I mean, just think about that. Yeah. But to me, Geth are really not Geth unless they have the Hunter Mode, because you get the bonus damage, you get the eyesight, all that kind of good stuff. They're kind of meant to be glass cannons. So that's a couple different things you can do with the build. Like I said, if you just copy my build and just go for fitness and skip Flamer, that is something you could do. That's one. No, not skip Flamer. My bad. I would say skip Hunter Mode. That's what I would say. If you're gonna skip anything, skip. I might even just said that a minute ago. I'm sorry. Skip Hunter Mode. Because one of my friends was telling me that he was reading on the forums or something where people were saying that they think that the best way to set him up would be actually Fortification and Hunter Mode. I don't really see that being too great, just because to me, fitness is never worth it. This game's not about defense, guys. I gotta make that clear. It's really not about defense. It's more about your DPS, your damage output. If you have a team of nothing but high damage outputters, I mean, a good example is like for Platinum Speedruns, the best team ever was for Geth Piranhas, because they had the highest damage output. And if they jump any enemy, they die instantly. So that was the thing about the Geth Piranha, was that was the best build in the game, because it had the most damage. And if you had 4 of those, you were talking about such an easy game. I mean, it just would go so fast, so easily. So that's the same way it works for everything. So the more damage output you can have, the better. But if you want to play defensively, that's cool as well. I've told you before, I will never tell you how to play the game. I can just suggest the way that I recommend. But, like I said, if you want to play defensively, that is something you could do, and it would be pretty interesting. You would lose out, like I said, for Hunter Mode, but you would gain the Flamer still. You would have the Fortification. You would have a massive amount of shields, and it would be kind of interesting to see. And I still wouldn't recommend Melee for that, so that's something else you can try out. And I would even try that out myself, to be quite honest. Just because after playing with this guy, I don't know. I just personally felt that I didn't really see too much point of Hunter Mode, to be honest. The thing I like about Hunter Mode the most is like the rate of fire and the damage increase. But if you're just going to strap on a Talon or even just this Geth Plasma, that's fine. Alright, right here, I'm going to actually close the door. That was actually my first time I ever closed the door, and I thought I did a pretty decent job at doing it, only because I got a good amount of enemies in there. That was pretty cool. And always remember, the Geth Plasma Shotgun will go down to be one of the best guns in this game, if not probably the best ever. Like, just because. I used to always call this gun the training wheels gun, especially when the game first came out. This was a gun that I used to refuse to use. My friends would, say, "Oh, what do you think of the Geth Plasma Shotgun?" And I would say, "Oh, I think it's the training wheels gun." And they're like, "What do you mean?" I just personally always never wanted to use it because I just feel that way. I feel that it's kind of so easy to use, and it has so ridiculous stats. I mean, it staggers enemies. That's great. It has so high damage. So high damage. You can one-shot like a phantom. You can one-shot so many enemies with this thing. And it has crazy sniper rifle range. It's like point dead blank to the enemies. As long as you have a red circle around them, you're going to hit them from any range, and they're going to fucking die. So that's a couple things you have to keep in mind. Geth Plasma Shotgun is great. Alright, so this is going to be the extraction wave. And we're going to be going to the Alamo. And this is what I call this, the Alamo. This is the side of the map. I recommend always on extraction waves, camp it up, and just chill or whatever. Just chill on that side of the map. But this is the craziest part. My buddy Chocolate here is gonna lag out of our party that we were in, and whew, man, he made I don't know what the fuck he was smoking. I have no idea. I mean, I was screaming at him. I didn't know he was out of the party. I was screaming at him. What the fuck are you doing? Get over here. I don't know what he was doing anyway. He knows that that's normally we kind of chill on this side. I think he was trying to go get some kill streaks. It's whatever. But, he's lucky he didn't get stabbed. He really was lucky he didn't get stabbed because he was being foolish. And he continued to be foolish like this whole extraction wave. I don't know, was it because he wasn't in our party or what? But I would assume that's probably was the reason. He didn't know that we were screaming at him. But I decided to try to save his ass, which I think I just did. He was about to get stabbed. To try to save his ass, I decided to run in the middle and just kind of chill in this position, which this is a good position, honestly, for this extraction wave. If you're kind of doing this setup, because you're able to sit in this middle. Obviously, you're gonna attract the enemies to you. You're gonna definitely take some serious damage. But what you have to keep in mind is that as you're doing this, it's such a great area for doing something like Flamer. I mean, the range is perfect. It has such perfect range. Now, right here, this is about 20 seconds is when you want to definitely make a run for it, which is what we're going to do. And yeah, that's going to be pretty much it. I mean, no problems up to this point. Alright guys, like I said, I really hope you enjoyed this. Please like this video. That would really help me out. All that good stuff. Remember, I'm going to be doing some Assassin's Creed 3, some Halo, but I will post Mass Effect from time to time, especially when anything new comes out, and all that kind of good stuff. So, like I said, I hope you enjoyed it, and like always, have a nice day.